What's up everyone, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing a beer from Erdinger, and they're out of Erding, Germany, and this is their Oktoberfest, the 2023 release. So we'll talk about this a bit more in a second, but this is essentially a hybrid of a Weissbier, aka a Hefeweizen, and an Oktoberfest, and it comes in at 5.7% alcohol by volume, 10 IBUs, and at the time of review, this can is approximately 6 months old. So this is different than the vast majority of Oktoberfest beers, whether it's a Festbier or a Märzen, because the base of this beer is essentially a Weissbier, a Hefeweizen. And you see a lot of, I've seen anyway, a lot of folks reference this one as a Hefeweizen, a Hefeweizen Festbier, because the base is kind of like a Hefeweizen, but it's a little bit more hop forward, and yeah, it's just more crushable. Now, I haven't had this beer in like 8 or 9 years. It was definitely the mid 2010s, and I don't remember much about it, but I will say that this is unique in that it actually is a wheat beer as opposed to just like a regular lager of some sort. So anyway, I'm really excited to get in this one and see what I think about it. This is the only German Oktoberfest I am reviewing this year. I've reviewed the vast majority of the German Oktoberfest that get imported to the States. I think I have maybe a couple left that I need to review, but for the most part, I've reviewed the vast majority of them. So I wanted to grab this one and give it a go. And as you can see, it's kind of pouring out, honestly, with a huge head, but also very cloudy, which, again, isn't typical for the style. That's where the uniqueness of this one comes in. So you have a very cloudy, this is like a cloudy, almost, on camera it's going to look a little bit different, but this is like a cloudy, like lemonade look to it. There's a lot of carbonation, about a 3-finger of this bright white, super fluffy looking head. Hold it up to the light, and yeah, I mean, this looks like a Hefeweizen. It looks like a Weissbier, a wheat beer. That's essentially what it is. But we'll see if we get anything from like the Oktoberfest side of things, because I'm curious. I just really am. Yeah, so it definitely has a wheat beer kind of scent. A lot of times with Hefeweizens, you get that, or at least I do, I get like that banana and clove. When you go to the Belgian side of things and you get a wit beer, a lot of times I get either mostly like bubblegum and like coriander. Here, I'm getting like a lemony zest to it, but I'm getting a touch of clove as well. Maybe a little bit of bananas coming through, just a very slight amount. But there is a nice kind of rich kind of malt character. I'm getting definitely like a bready, like a wheat bread kind of sensation. Like a slightly toasted wheat bread. But as I let it open up and swirled around a little bit and let the aromatics kind of breathe, it just starts smelling like, honestly, like a Hefeweizen. It doesn't smell like a bad one. It just smells more like a Hefeweizen. There might be a little bit of like a slightly sharp kind of herbaceous note. Yeah, like an herbal hop note. Yeah, herbal and grassy. So maybe that's where this is probably more like in the Festbier range in terms of what they're trying to do with the hybrid nature of this one. But yeah, it smells pretty good. It smells like no other Oktoberfest that I've ever had, because it's unique. So anyway, let's get into it. Prost, everybody. This is the first Oktoberfest of the year for me, and it's also the first beer that I'm drinking since bringing back the channel. My channel's been on hiatus since basically August 1st, and this is the first beer I'm having since July 19th, so I'm so happy. Cheers. This reminds me of not a specific beer, but if someone took a Hefeweizen and gave it a little bit of a hop punch. Not crazy amount, but just a little bit more of a hop character. There's this herbaceous, slightly spicy, grassy, like hop note. Body on this one's like medium body, maybe a touch over, a little bit bigger at 5.7%. It's definitely reminiscent of just like a straight Hefeweizen from the body, because the mouthfeel, with a lot of Oktoberfest, you want that crisp, clean, just very effervescent kind of mouthfeel, and you're getting that here. But then I'm also getting a really nice, soft, smooth, kind of creamy, pillowy-esque kind of feel to it. You look at the head and you just be like, yeah, that should drink like a pillow. And it's definitely smooth because of the wheat and the fact this is a Hefeweizen at heart. The taste is, again, the nose carries over. Not exactly to a T, but it's definitely noticeable. Right up front, it's wheat bread. It's like slightly toasted wheat bread. Right after that, transitions into this like zippy kind of lemon zest, and even maybe a little bit of like a tart lemon juice, very slight. As it continues to pass through, the yeast esters and the phenolic nature of the yeast hit. So I'm getting a little bit of that banana, a touch of that clove, like midway to 2/3 of the way through the palate. So it transitions from the wheat bread and the lemon zest and the lemon juice to the yeast qualities. It finishes pretty dry, not like overly dry, but this is like has a nice firm dryness. There's a little bit of residual sweetness, but it definitely dries out on the palate. The bitterness is mild to moderate. It's not like punching me in the face, but the hop character on the back of the palate is, again, I'd say more spicy and herbaceous. There's an herbal note. There's a little bit of spiciness. The grassiness not as prevalent as it was in the nose. It's not like overly complex. And you would think maybe these flavors would clash because you're taking, like, again, a Hefeweizen and marrying it with a Festbier, or even if they said they were going for a Märzen, right? But it works to some degree. Like, I actually dig this quite a bit. As somebody who likes wheat beers, I love Hefeweizens. I love Wit beers, especially well-made ones. I can get behind this. It's maybe not something for everybody, but I could see a lot of people drinking this and going, wow, that's unique. I've never had a wheat beer like that. It reminds me, to some degree, of, what's the Three Floyds beer? Gumball Head? Not in terms of, like, you know, characteristic-wise, but that is an American pale wheat ale that is hopped with Amarillo. And when you drink that, it's like, okay, it's a wheat ale, but then you start getting what Amarillo brings to the table. A lot of times for me, orange, and it's like, oh, it's like a hop-forward kind of wheat beer. That's what this is. It's not like super hop-forward, but it definitely has more of a noticeable hop kick. And that slight, like, toasted kind of bread quality that's like a wheat bread is definitely nice. Yeah, I'm digging this one. Is it mind-blowing? It's not for me. But I will say, considering it's one of the most unique Oktoberfest beers I've ever had, I can get down with this. I really can. And the fact that it's in a can is even cooler, I guess. I don't remember seeing this one in a can. I'll take one more sip and then lock in a rating. Again, it's pretty balanced. Nice sweetness up front from all the malt goodness, balanced by that mild to moderate bitterness. The carbonation, I think, it has a nice moderate pop of carbonation, but it's still smooth on the palate. It's relatively clean. It's a nice beer. I'm going to pour the rest in here. After taking that sip, I'm going to pour all the goodies in here. Maybe we'll take a sip right after this, but I'm just going to rate it as is. And honestly, it doesn't blow me away, but this is damn good, and it's different. And I don't know, I can't, like, this is why rating the style for me, a lot of times I don't do it, because where do you rate this stylistic? I can't rate this compared to other Oktoberfest because it's a completely different beast of a beer. So that's why I rate overall just to how I feel, and then I'll rate the style if it's maybe a style that I don't enjoy or maybe a style I really enjoy. I try to, you know, put it out there, but this I can't do that. So I'm just going to say Erdinger's Oktoberfest. This is the 2023 release. I have no issues whatsoever in giving this beer right here. I'm going to go low 4 out of 5 and go 3.95. I think this is really tasty, really good, and I'm happy that I have revisited it and I have reviewed it. So it's been, like I said, probably 2014, 15 since I had this, and I don't remember being this enjoyable, but my palate's in a way different place. Price point availability, this was $2.79 for this big, what is this? This is bigger than 500 mils, isn't it? Yeah, so this is a 16, no, this is a 500 mils can. So this is a 500 mils can, 500 milliliters, and it was $2.79 for the can. Probably comes in 4-packs, so you're probably talking like $9-10. Well worth it for what I'm drinking here. And availability, it's Erdinger. You should see this, you know, every single year when it's released for Oktoberfest. You should probably see this in your area, especially if you're in the US and you have a decent import section at your local grocery store or local beer store. This should show up. If you've had this one before, post a comment section. What do you think about this one? Again, I can see a lot of people just not liking it because the base is a wheat beer. It even says it right on here. Yeah, it says wheat beer, Weissbier, Hefeweizen, so it tells you everything that it is. But you know, doing a little bit of research on it, just to clarify, because I remember, you know, this being a kind of a hybrid and not really knowing much about it, and they pretty much just say it's kind of a hybrid of what an Oktoberfest is supposed to be, along with a Hefeweizen. But I would say this just drinks kind of like a little bit more of a hop there's a little bit more hop kick to Hefeweizen base. So yeah, anyway, 5.7%. Yeah, you're not going to tell us something like this you can crush it. So I'm rusty. This is my, again, first review in 2.5 months, so I apologize for how poorly this probably is going to come off, but it is what it is. Hopefully I get a little bit better as I continue to review some more beers here in the near future. Again, if you've had this one before, post comment section. I appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. I got 4 more Oktoberfest beers that I'll be reviewing over the next week and a half, something like that. So be on the lookout for them. And until the next one, prost. Cheers.